Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Cancer, Sun, Moon or Rising. And Cancer, this is your weekly intuitive tarot reading for April 13th to the 19th. This week we have the Leap Oracle card, very similar to the Fool. Behind there we have the Tantra Oracle card. We have the Star, the Seven of Wands, the Chariot, the Nine of Swords, the Two of Wands and the Tower. Big energies, guys. The Star came out first, and as it was starting to play out with the cards, I was thinking, okay, some of you are in the aftermath of a Tower moment. And then last card out is the Tower. Tower's coming out a lot at the moment. Obviously, big change can be big sudden change. All the things that you've been, resisting and sort of stressing about, but maybe sweeping under the carpet, are definitely being exposed at the moment. Towers are falling all over the place because we're finally being forced to look at them. But the good news here is that we have that beautiful star energy, which is the calm after the storm, and we have that strong sense of you moving forward into an abundant new beginning. I mean, you've got the Leap Oracle card here this week, and you had the Fool and the Lovers, the big decision card last week. So I feel like this has been playing out for a little while, but there is strong new beginning energy here for you. But obviously first there are some towers that need to fall in order to get there. So before we go to the tarot, just going to read out the oracle cards here. So Leap, we'll get to that one. We'll just talk about Tantra under here. So we have the Tantra card from the Yogic Life deck, and this is really about, the union of male and female for, for liberation. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about two people here. What I'm really talking about is the masculine and feminine energies within yourself. So that can mean, coming into a state of internal harmony and balance within yourself. Maybe the situation that's kind of coming down, maybe there was an aspect of that forced you either, way too much into your feminine energy, or maybe way too much into your, imbalanced, masculine energy, maybe dark masculine or dark feminine. And, through the situation coming down and being able to rebuild and move forward, I think you're going to be integrating a lot more of yourself so that you can actually, have that sense of internal liberation. So that's what I'm seeing in that Tantra energy there. And we have the Leap Oracle card from the Work Your Light deck. Very similar to the Fool energy, guys. This is really about that fresh new start and having the, the trust and faith to just go for it, and just to, realize that jump, and that safety net will appear for you. So I will just read out the first part of that for you before we go to the tarot. You go first. The universe will catch you. Life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap, to throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you're being called to leap toward or away from, but you're scared to make the move. Or perhaps you're waiting for a sign or instruction manual or permission to do so first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission slip to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. It's scary to let go of all we know and hope for something new, but it's normal to be anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know for sure. But this is the unavoidable process of rising. And right now, Cancer, this is how you're being called to live. Yeah, so then we do have a Tower moment here, and I feel like for many of us, this is a forced hand Tower moment because things are changing all around us, and most of it's outside of our control. So let's start here in the recent past here with the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Yeah, I feel like it's whatever you've been resisting or fighting, that's what's coming to a head at the moment. So I feel like there has been something in your life, in an area of your life, be it in romance or business or friendships, the big areas of our lives, that has been causing you a certain amount of worry or stress for a period of time. That Seven of Swords, really shows that anxious energy or the overthinking, overanalyzing in a situation, that deep sense of worry that maybe keeps you up at night. And with the Seven of Wands, it's kind of like the feeling of having to keep on really pushing in a situation to keep it moving. That feeling of like swimming uphill or, pushing a heavy weight. Life really should be, in our relationships and our work and everything, there should be a sense of flow. Not saying it's easy all the time, but when something is right and in alignment with you, you have a sense of flow and ease, even though there will be challenges along the way. But in the Seven of Wands, we see someone who's constantly having to battle with it. You know, the inner demons, and it could just be, you know, your inner voices that say, no, no, this is not right for you. Maybe your inner wisdom has been trying to warn you for a while, hey, this is not a good situation for you. It's not heading in a good place. Maybe, you know, your intuition has been going crazy and you're constantly trying to quieten it down. You know, shh, no, I'm going to keep going with this situation. Well, I feel that, you know, the time now is that everything is coming out, because we're really going deep at the moment, and some of us are having a lot more time on our hands to reflect, to tune into our intuition, and there's no hiding anymore. And I feel like those, you know, inner demons, which are maybe these wands here, we can't see who's holding them, they're finally like really, you know, creeping up on you and tapping you on the shoulder and going, hey, you need to sort this out. You don't want to live like this anymore. You need to bring this thing to a completion, and if you don't do it, we'll do it for you. And that is the energy of the Tower. The Tower is the card of, you know, big sudden changes. It is the card of anything in your life that's not built on a solid foundation is going to come down. Because when times get tough, we really realize, you know, how well we've built the towers in our lives and which ones can weather the storm, basically. So, you know, the relationships that, you know, you might have just been kind of sailing along in, well, you might be in self-isolation with this person, and now you're going, whoa, now I have to spend so much time with this person. You know, we are irritating each other, we're fighting, we're just not meant to be. I can't be with this person. Can be that kind of energy. You know, for some of you, the Tower coming down could be the fact that you've lost your work or job, but then you're sort of behind that thinking, well, I hated that job anyway, but it paid the bills. So anything that's built on that shaky foundation, and it can be just a big revelation about ourselves as well, is coming to light to bring sudden change in your life, to realign you with the life path that you are truly meant to be on. And that's why there is a blessing in disguise. There is a silver lining with the Tower. It may feel dramatic and chaotic at the time, but it's here to serve your best purpose. And obviously we're going through a global Tower moment at the moment, but generally, you know, what is going on in the macrocosm is always reflected on the microcosm, you know, on us internally in our personal realms as well, because we are all connected. We're all connected with the, you know, the greater universe as well. So Tower moment here, guys. Don't fear the Tower moment. This is coming to propel you to leap into a whole new direction. You know, life as you know it could be about to change quite dramatically. So actually, you know, I don't hate the Tower when I see it. I keep in mind that it is a positive card. The beautiful thing about this reading is that you have the Star. The Star is the major arcana that follows on from the Tower, and it's the calm after the storm. So even though this Tower might, you know, rock your world, might really shake you, you've got the Star coming in straight after that to ease you, to give you the calm, to give you that sense of healing. So I feel like you're going to recover fairly quickly from this, because I think you know that this Tower had to fall. Because the Star is about, you know, going through that process of recalibrating, renewal. It is a card of rebirth. I feel like some of you are going to feel totally reborn after this, after that aftermath. Some of you are going to emerge from that rubble as an entirely different person, or heading in an entirely different direction in your life. The Star is also the card of divine wish fulfillment. It's a time to really make new wishes and dreams, hopes and desires for your life, new manifestations, because this is a very fertile time for leaping towards them and making them happen. But also, you know, really taking the time that you need to heal and renew, restore your energy and that kind of thing, because we can see here that, you know, many of you might be feeling quite vulnerable. We have a naked character in this card, and what has been lost could have been quite a big part of your identity, and you might be going through a little process of you know, the initial identity crisis until you sort of really get your step on the first step on that new path. You know, obviously if it's a job that's been lost, our jobs really define us. We spend 40 hours a week, some of us, in a role, you know, playing a role. And when that's taken away, there can be, well, who am I now? You know, who am I truly without this? A relationship can be the same thing. You know, we start to blend and merge and become a person with that partner, and when that's taken away, it's like, wow, I'm on my own. And if you've been outsourcing, you know, maybe outsourcing to your masculine or feminine, you know, now it's time for you to reclaim those parts of yourself, to become integrated, to liberate yourself. So after that, guys, though, we have you moving towards the new beginning. So this is where that leap energy, this is where that full energy comes in. We've got the Chariot and we've got the Two of Wands. So first of all, with the Two of Wands, we see you at that crossroads, going through a bit of a life review, sort of wondering, what path to walk now. And I think some of you might have some dreams that you've been working on for a while. Well, it's really saying here that it's time for you to leap towards them now. Time for you to walk an entirely new path. Now, this person here, from the comfort of home, which could be you in self-isolation, has the wand of the past here and the wand of the future. So it's kind of like this person is sort of, making that decision of, do I go back to what's comfortable for me? Maybe do I try and rebuild this tower? Or do I take the inspired action to move forth in a completely new path? Well, you are definitely being called to leap towards that unknown, to take that step beyond your comfort zone, Cancer, and get out there on a new path, because there's fertile pastures waiting for you. This is a realization and awakening this week that you have the whole world in your hands. So why would you go back to something that potentially has kept you small, that has kept you pushing and fighting and kept you anxious? It really is time to move on. And the Chariot is a huge card of, propelling forward in a new direction. It's also a victory card. So I feel that once you kind of really decide, okay, I'm leaving the past in the past, I'm leaving that past wand here, I'm committing to the future, it's going to be like the spell that propels you forward. And again, in the Chariot, we see this black and white Sphinx here, which could be those two sides of ourselves that we talked about. Once we bring those two sides of ourselves, integrate, become whole again, put the pieces of ourselves back together after the situation, that's when these sphinxes that are kind of heading in two different directions align and you can move forward with pace. That's how the charioteer moves forward. It doesn't have reins for this chariot. It uses the intention of being integrated, of being whole, of being clear in his decision making in order to move forward. The chariot could also see you relocating. Obviously that might be a little bit hard to do right now, so it could be in the future, making plans for that, or some of you may still be able to travel back to your home for the self-isolation period, where you might put the plans in place for this new beginning. That can also be an outcome of the chariot. But either way, this is you moving full steam ahead in a new direction with a sense of victory. So it's it is a victory for you, because now you're being reliant with your highest purpose, getting back onto your life path. And it'll be really interesting to see what plays out for you with this full energy. The full energy is about taking a new path, even though you don't know yet what the destination is, but you've got to trust in this new journey. The Star also talks about, having restored faith, having hope, and that is what will carry us through to this new beginning. Okay, Cancer, I'm going to leave it there. It's a very exciting reading for you this week, and I wish you all the best with it. Do keep in mind it is a general reading, so it won't be for every one of you guys. Feel free to leave me a comment, because I always love to know, if it's resonating and and how it's playing out in your daily life. And I'll see you back here next week for another reading.